Before getting into today's episode, we'd like to thank Mac Performance PT for sponsoring the Walk On Pod. For more on their services and contact information, click the link in our Instagram bio where you will be led to their website. Mac Performance PT, helping Sacramento athletes live life without limits. Thank you for tuning back into the Walk On Pod. I'm Luka Dolovich. The floating head to my left is Jared Waters. Below me is Tommy Ball. And today we have a very special guest with us today. She's a fellow podcaster herself, and I think it's the second sibling we've had, minus Big O. We have Sassy Fitzpatrick, sister of William Fitzpatrick, with us today, and we are super excited to have her on. So thank you for joining us, Sass.
Thank you guys for having me. I think I'm your first female guest as well.
No, that's not true.
Oh,
Come on, don't do that to us. Oh my God.
Damn.
That's
That's what you said, Jared.
Damn.
Never mind. I'm the first. I think I've completed the second sibling duo.
Yeah, no, I think am I correct with that? Because Owen's a layup being my brother, so that's that was an easy one.
Yeah.
I don't have any, so yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
I
I don't think we're ever having Allie on here. Sorry.
No, we gotta get an Allie
Like,
eventually.
There's only two of us,
Ashley,
so like
Ashley was a soccer player. We might have Ashley on here at some point down the line.
There you go. Well, I'm happy to pioneer that mission in regards to siblings. So
Let's go.
yes, I have an older brother, William. He is about 2.5 years older than me, and he is who introduced my entire family to basketball. We surrounded William's basketball schedule my entire life. When we went on vacations, if we were in a good mood, it's because William had a great game. If we weren't, William didn't. My favorite thing about William's basketball journey for sure is how much my parents and I were like obsessed with it. We were so for it. My mom, I remember, like literally called herself the sixth man at Vista, which was just like very uncomfortable to watch. Like she definitely embarrassed me back then. But yeah, and my dad like still talks about doing the scoreboard and things like that. But
was that the main decision why you didn't go to Vista in the first place? Is you actually went to Folsom because you didn't want to be exposed to that? Or be part
no,
of that?
I went to Folsom because I cheered in the junior bulldog program.
Gotcha.
I also like William is pure book smart. Like William got all the book smart genes when it comes to both of us, and William excelled really well with like the longer class times at Vista, whereas like I can't sit still to save my life. So I wouldn't have done as well at Vista as I did at Folsom High for sure.
Some insightful answer right there. It's
that was.
People don't like to think about that all the time, but it's an experience down there. But yeah, no, like she says, she's William. It's funny. I always find it funny when I hear William because
when people call him Will, like they don't understand. Like that's my dad.
Exactly.
So if you hear William go by Will, I'm like, why are you referring to yourself as dad? That's just weird. But and then I don't know if I've ever told you, Jared, but because William is William Valentine Fitzpatrick II, he can't become junior until there's a third. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so William's like full government name is William Valentine Fitzpatrick II until there's a third. And hopefully if William has children one day, which I'm sure he will, I hope that his first son is a boy, or the firstborn is a boy. So it can be William Valentine Fitzpatrick III. And I've already like declared that he will go by Billy because I don't want to do this Will issue. I have
like this.
Because nobody says WJ. You're right. WJ sounds terrible.
Ooh,
who says WJ?
That's what I said. Nobody says that. That sounds bad.
WJ.
Auntie Sash says it's Billy. We can't. It's over with.
It's Billy. I've already decided it. I've told William. I've told his fiance Sarah. Like, hey, Billy.
It's Billy.
I like it.
Billy.
Man, what a name for
go by Bill. Like if he's like.
I was gonna say then Bill.
Whatever. I've decided that.
So before we, embarrass William, anymore here on this episode. We want to give you the floor, Sass. Like I said, and you mentioned, you do have a podcast of your own, and we were kind of talking about it off camera. But I know all of us are excited to learn about it, and I'm sure, like you said, our listeners probably aren't in the same realm as the ones on your pod. So it's going to be a fun time learning about what you guys do over there. So we want to give you the floor, and you can kind of take control wherever you want to go.
Awesome. So I have a podcast with my dear friend who also happens to be my boss. Her name's Alexis, and we have a podcast called The Beauty Filter, and it's a part of Alpha Aesthetic Partners podcast network. So basically, a private equity company called Alpha Aesthetic Partners goes around and acquires med spas across the country. So Alexis and I work for a medical spa in El Dorado Hills. That's how we met, and we became like connected at the hip from day one. And our former CEO, John, approached us because he left and he started Alpha Aesthetic Partners, and he had his own podcast. And he came to us and was like, do you guys want to try being on an episode? And we're like, of your podcast? And he's like, no, like having your own. So Alexis and I started like a trial process of recording episodes. And we talk all things cosmetics in the sense of like aesthetic treatments and celebrities and pop culture. And honestly, it goes like all over the place because Alexis and I are very unhinged with our topics. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. I actually just got back today. I went to the biggest medical spa show, convention, whatever you want to call it, in Vegas. And it was like my first time going on a business trip, let alone like going to a convention. And it was wild because we did like live podcasting in our booth, and we had a bunch of really cool people on. So it's funny that now I'm doing this. I feel like I've just had like thing.
Dang, that's sick. That's amazing.
It's a lot
I
of
didn't
fun.
know that's why I thought you were just going to Vegas like a regular person.
No. And after going to Vegas on like a business trip, I never want to go as like a regular person. Even in like my young age of 22, I'm like, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
No,
but yeah, it's super different from this, obviously. This one is a lot more, I don't know, organic. Whereas mine and like Alexis and I, it's like, you have to know what we're going to talk about because people are mean on the internet. One, like we post like TikToks and stuff. They are mean, like random people, little trolls.
This is actually a really good segue. So,
Trolls.
so speaking of TikToks and mean comments, so our very own Jared Waters actually is in charge of posting TikTok clips for the Walk On Pod, and he sends me a screenshot of one of the comments one day where the guy was basically trashing us. He was like, "Oh, this is a horrible topic. It's never gonna have traction. Blah blah blah. All this," and Jared's like,
I
"Bro, I'm about
missed
to
this.
fire on him." Yeah, because Jared.
Why didn't I
Jared
get
asked me,
sent this?
producer team. He sent it to the producer team.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So Jared's like, yo, I'm about to fire on this kid. Like, he has no idea what he's talking about. I said, Jared, bro, like, relax, okay? Like, the fact that people are commenting and we're getting a little engagement, we should just take it as a positive. Who cares?
Oh,
And
absolutely.
he was so worked up. So I think that's pretty funny. But I agree with you. There's definitely trolls out there.
arguably, we need to be more controversial so we can start getting more traction. I think
No,
that's a topic for another time, though.
there you go. So we've had one TikTok that's like done really, really well. It has like over 1 million views. And it's so weird the things that go viral on TikTok because we're talking about SpongeBob in the clip. And after like my elevator pitch that I just gave to you about my podcast, you're like, why in the world is Sassy talking about SpongeBob? My mom didn't let William and I watch SpongeBob growing up, one, to start with. And then I'm talking about SpongeBob.
Come on, Natalie.
I know. Isn't that funny? You like think like you guys know my mom. It's like, why is this lady telling her kids not to watch SpongeBob?
I was right there with you. I wasn't allowed to watch it either. So
There you go.
What's the reason for that? What I don't get it.
I was tapped in from a young age.
Michelle and Natalie must have conspired.
it was brain mush. That's what it was.
It was something. Yeah. It. I don't know what it
It was
necessarily.
hilarious.
But it's weird. But what can you do?
So
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think our podcast, us three, have a little bit of jealousy in that space because we do try to keep a quick agenda. Like on the episodes where it's just us three, we have an agenda. We kind of talk about the quick little sports things that go on. You know, if
Yeah.
a walk on type story comes up, we touch that. But we will always like go down this trail of like pop culture things or like
Yeah.
random, and like we
Yeah.
would just love to sit here and talk about
It's
it.
hard
But
to
again,
avoid.
like you
Right.
said, like that's not really what we're here to do. So
Mm-hmm.
in a sense, I'm a little jealous. I'm a little jealous of what you guys got going on over there. And the production of it looks
Yeah.
fantastic, but that's,
Yeah.
you know,
It's hard too though, because like they want us to talk about like things that are relevant, like things that have happened. But like 2 weeks ago, I sat and I scrolled like everything. And I was like, there's nothing happening. So like I think that with you guys have that kind of upper hand in all of your guys' backgrounds. Like you guys have a spew of topics that you can have like on the back burner, like ready to go if there isn't anything like fresh that you guys want to talk.
a good way to look
Yeah.
at it. Experienced podcaster over here. You see, there we go.
Yeah.
So are you? So you said like sometimes you have to look stuff. So are you tasked with bringing things to the forefront like every episode? Like if you're like, okay, we're recording on Thursday, like are you tasked with bringing like these are my 3 talking points when we get to this segment of the podcast?
Yes.
Is that what you got to do?
So typically I mean I talk to Alexis all day every day. If I'm not working with her, I'm texting with her or I'm on the phone with her. So and we're both also very actively on like all forms of social media.
Mhm.
So like we're constantly looking. And it's typically pretty easy like for us to find stuff and I will tell her like if we do like a deep dive on a celebrity and all of the plastic surgery she's gotten, we will kind of choose like okay, I'll talk about this, you'll talk about this. So we try our best to be organized in that way. I will say some episodes are better than others, but I always think that the episodes that like we aren't super like planned out are the better ones. So I don't know. It's hard to say because like I want to keep it light and airy and organic and things like that. But then it's also like, okay, we can't like go talking about SpongeBob for 30 minutes because like that's
It
not
happens. It happens.
what
Sass, to kind of like pivot a little bit, but stay here is what got you interested in like being part of a med spa and stuff like that? Like, what about that interests you and got you going? Because obviously it's something you're passionate about.
Yeah, so I didn't know anything about the industry before I started. Like I knew what Botox was. I think a majority of the people in the world know what Botox is and like they've heard of like lip filler and they've heard of laser hair removal. So like I knew of like core services like that, but it's so funny. My high school cheer coach posted because I work with her. She is our surgical patient care coordinator. So she posted like a job opening for a reception job back like what 2.5 years ago or so. And I just come home from Alabama and I was like, oh, I want to work. I need to stay busy. So I applied. And I genuinely only applied because I was like, oh, it's close to my house and I know Tiffany, so I know I have a foot in the door. And then I got to learn like all of the things and yeah, I really do like it. And it's like just be super transparent. It's like so profitable. Like I've never seen more of a booming business ever. So that's also very appealing as I'm like looking for career options. So
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. Well, I mean, you couple that with now a media presence, and clearly there's a
Yeah.
lane for it. Like you're talking about, there's a podcast network, and you guys are one of the spearheads for it in that lane. So I would have never even guessed. Like I would have never guessed that
Yeah.
med
Mm-mm.
spas would take that lane. But the way that you pitch it, like it makes sense. Like all these celebrities and everything that people are following and stuff. This is what they do. This is part of their lives, and like
Yeah.
you can break it down into like the tea or the juice behind it all, and you got relatable people on the mic. It's got to be, there's clearly a lane for it. So that's
Exactly.
super
And like
dope.
that's our main point, like when we do like why we have the podcast is because we want to normalize aesthetic treatments because like think about like growing up, you're like, oh, that lady got a facelift and it's like all the hush hush about it. But it's like, no, like there's so many people that are doing things that make them feel better about themselves. just like if you go like get your hair done, like you get your hair cut, like
Back to life.
exactly. And like that's how people feel about like certain aesthetic treatments too. So it's like, why does it have a negative stigma when it doesn't have to?
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. I also think that's just because people, that whole, it's because you saw the celebrities do it, right? It's popular because celebrities, one, can afford it, right? And two, because they look a certain way or they try to present looking a certain way. So people people feel like you're trying to live up to like unrealistic expectation, right?
Yeah. And you don't like you would never want your girls to think that like, oh, why don't I look like them? It's like, oh well, they've
Yeah.
actually spent like thousands upon thousands of dollars,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know
But
what I wanted to ask? Because I followed March Madness. I had my bracket.
how'd you
How
do?
okay, so I was like dead last for majority of it, thanks to Kentucky. And then
That's
I like
right.
bumped up to what did I finish? I think I like finished like 10th out of like 20 something. So not
Oh, nice.
horrible. Like it's better than
Yeah,
that.
nice. Solid.
My best friend's dad, he's the one that organizes it. He guessed the entire West and East perfectly. And he got he had Purdue and UConn, and he had UConn winning. It was wild. I've never seen it. I was like, you should have like entered in like the raffle because you would have won big money. But what
Yeah.
I was gonna say with Jared McCain, so like speaking of trends and things like that, and his
Mm.
nail polish, how do you guys take that? How does it make you feel? Like his huge endorsement with Sally Hansen, the nail polish brand.
I think it's great for him.
There you go.
I mean, he has his lane and he's thriving in it. And there's not another college basketball player. I mean, Caleb Williams started painting his nails this year too. He's a football player though, but like, there's not another guy in college sports, even professional sports, like doing it like him.
Yeah.
And like he's killing it, and he doesn't care. That's what's so good about what Jared's doing is he does not care, and he produces on the court too. So you can't say anything to him, no matter what color his nails are.
No, I
So
think
I
that
mean, and like I don't know how much money that thing was worth, but I know that was a good deal for him.
He
Like
definitely
that
got
was
the
a
bag.
That's a
successful
lot.
that was
Yeah.
a successful thing for Jared McCain right there.
Yeah, I think to kind of piggyback on Tom. So I don't know if you know Sass, but we had Jared's brother, Jace, who
Mhm.
I like because I used to train Jared and Jace when they both lived in Sacramento.
Yes.
And the funny thing is we used to laugh about it when Jared first started doing the TikTok stuff. He
Mhm.
would get like people would like say like super like homophobic stuff in his comments and
Yeah.
like try to destroy him and like they used to laugh about it and like they would like show me stuff that would be said and it's like it's hilarious how mad it makes people kind of back like just for him shaking the norm up, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's like it's I mean it's not hurting anybody, it's not doing anything negative. He's not like setting up on some pedestal to like he's not hurting like he's not attacking some group of people like he's literally just doing something because he thinks it's really because he thinks it's funny but like now it's turned into a lucrative thing like Tom said and so yeah no it's actually hilarious how mad people get about it but it's dope because if you know Jared like it's not like it's just it's like part of his personality.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I thought that it was so when I saw that he got that deal with Sally Hansen, I'm like, this is huge. Like this is like literally one of
Yeah.
the biggest brands like in like nail world, you could
Well,
say.
he has K Jewelers too. He got K Jewelers in high school.
Yeah. That's
I didn't
just
know that. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, he had
But
K Jewelers in high school. He did like a couple posts,
Yeah,
that's
he's
dope.
him. He's him.
I also think too, especially with the way social media and college athletics is now, is you take away from what it really is, and the kid's a 19-year-old kid playing basketball and enjoying himself. So like for him to be rewarded in expressing himself in whatever way he wants to, I think that's pretty dope. Like
Yeah.
through whatever lane it was, like it happened to be the nail polish stuff. But like it reminds you what college athletics is about. I mean, with the NIL stuff, we talk about that all the time. It can go down whatever lane, but like it's a kid expressing himself in the way he wants to, doing the thing he loves, and he's getting rewarded for it. So I think that's just dope. Like you got to respect that.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, like nothing he's doing on his social media presence takes away from his performance on the court. Like
Yeah, man.
and
Just
Chase came on here and told us how hard he works, and clearly we saw the results of the tournament. Like, he's serving. So
Yeah,
people can't say
he's
anything.
gonna be a
to him,
first round
man.
pick, man. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm excited for him. I really am happy that he gets like the recognition he deserves. Like his online presence is so enjoyable too. Like he genuinely is
Yeah.
such a funny TikToker. And like I feel like you don't get that, especially with a lot of like college athletes.
Yeah,
So
a lot of too cool for school, huh?
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like he is just so entertaining and he's so fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of like NHL deals, so I also run. One of my best friends, he is a college golfer. And I run his social media for him because he's finishing up here. And it is so funny the content that he decides, like, oh, like Sassy, this is what I want to post. I'm like, Matthew, like, are we sure about this one? Because he wants to start tapping into NHL deals. And the companies that like reach out, like, because like you have like some random ones sometimes, it's crazy. Like, it's so funny too. Like, also like how different it is. Because like William, I can't tell you if that man ever got contacted. Well, I knew that he wasn't allowed to take anything. And I think back like, oh my gosh, if William was actively playing like in college right now, I know that I would be all over him to do it.
I can see.
Yeah.
What type of deal do we think we see Will
William,
taking?
God,
Cole Haan shoes.
Yeah, I could Lululemon. I mean, he would be all over that for
Yeah.
sure.
okay,
Yeah.
how is, and I'm like, hopefully this
Polos.
is, I don't know if this will get him in trouble. So if it has to get cut, then it gets cut. William and the Sweat Collective, kid emailed me today, like 25% off Sweat Collective. I'm like, how are you getting this? Like, I'm so confused,
I mean,
but I'm
look,
not mad at it. Like, I'm not complaining.
well, look, I don't know the fine print of the Sweat Collective. Myself being a member, I don't want to out a fellow member for just using his benefits.
Yeah.
So I think we just gotta chalk it up as him being a hustler. And you get a 25% off discount from your brother. So I feel like you just gotta
No,
let it rock.
I'm not complaining. I was just confused on how this works because
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
You'll
doing
have to
well
ask,
though.
you'll have to ask the Lulu God someday.
I thought
One
that
day
was
I thought you were the Lulu god,
Jared. I thought you were the Lulu god.
Exactly, that was the point.
Okay.
Jared is the
Yeah.
Lulu God. For my high school graduation, Jared gifted me Lululemon leggings that were 3 sizes too big, but it was the thought that counts.
That's crazy. No, I did not.
You
sizes
did.
too big?
I remember it like it was yesterday. It was 4 years
Oh,
ago. You got
jeez.
me the olive green, and I held them up, and I could like.
That must have
see
been
presents.
Amanda. Amanda must have picked that size.
It
Don't
was
throw
definitely
Amanda under the bus, dude.
Yeah.
Don't
No.
do that.
without a doubt.
This
All right,
is good.
Sass.
Speaking of high school, though, okay, so you
I
talked
owe you a
about.
new one, Sass.
Okay, I mean,
What'd
look,
you say?
I owe you a new pair. Then I'm sorry.
It's okay. Collective deal
so
now.
so with this is a good segue to high school. Here we go. You talked about you grew up cheering for the Folsom Junior Bulldogs. And so we've talked about Folsom High being kind of a powerhouse, obviously in football, but in all sports now, in the Sacramento area. Then you did do some time at Alabama, where everyone knows like is essentially the college football mecca. What was it like kind of coming from a small town high school field where again you still were the spotlight on sports and then going to this large scale where it's the same idea, the spotlight on sports is there?
So that's exactly why I chose Alabama when I decided to go away for school. I loved Folsom High, like genuinely for the best years of my life. I loved the football aspect. I loved the basketball aspect. I loved it all. And I knew I wanted to go to a school that had a really big sports presence. So when I went to like a college fair, I met with an Alabama recruiter and she really sold me on the school. Like she is wonderful at her job. She definitely like made me really interested. And then I went home and I told my parents, and my mom and dad decided to take me on like a Southern school like college trip. So we went and we toured Alabama, Auburn, Ole Miss, and school in Texas. I don't remember what school, but obviously it wasn't memorable for me. And I just loved Alabama. I got to go, and I actually had a family friend who was a freshman there when I went and toured, and she just like she made me fall in love with the school. And so going from, Folsom High had huge football games. Like, to me, like, it was like, okay, this is insane. And they won state. I got to go down and watch them win state. And then I went to Alabama and I was like, oh my gosh, this is nothing. Like, Folsom High is nothing compared to this. Especially like Nick Saban. Like, Nick Saban is God to people of Tuscaloosa. Like, it is crazy. But I also got to go to like basketball games, and Coleman Coliseum is the name of the basketball stadium, and it's so cool. Like, it's just so unreal, and it always made me kind of bummed because like it's this huge like it was always sad like when sports season ends because the town revolves around it. So it felt like a ghost town whenever like it wasn't football season or if we weren't playing well in basketball or whatever it may be.
I can only imagine Tuscaloosa Saturday night after a big SEC football win
Oh my
in the
gosh.
noon slate. It was probably like you probably can't
No
even
matter
describe
what.
what it was. Really.
Like, no matter what, win or lose, like, respectfully, we won majority of the time when I still attended. And when, like, even when we lost, like, we lost to LSU my freshman year, it's like there's still $100 cover to get into any bar
That's
in Tuscaloosa.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
I
That's
know.
absurd.
And it's absurd too that like freshman me was paying that. Like, what is
Hey.
wrong with you?
it's part of the
Hey,
experience,
hey,
you know.
Part
Yeah,
of the
big
experience.
Will was out there having to work overtime so Sassy could sneak into the bar.
You think
That's
that
what's
this
going on.
man gave me an allowance when I was there? No.
This is crazy. Okay, that's no, that's super dope though. I don't know. I've talked about on here specifically that I've always wished that I got like a real college football experience. Like obviously I would never trade my college experience playing for anything, but like that's something that I feel like at all of our schools, us three, we've talked about, we probably missed out on. So I love hearing those stories and kind of what it's about because it's like a whole nother world, honestly.
It really is. It's crazy. And I know now it's like even more elevated because like now you can drink there. And like the whole place is already so rowdy. So then like you add that layer in, and I'm like, I don't even want to know what goes on. So I'm really curious to see how we do with the new coach this season because Nick Saban's gone, which was so sad. But
the basketball team has hit its peak, though, right? I mean, that was
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
gosh,
Like,
I hope they're on their way to hitting their peak. I hope that wasn't peak. Final Four
No.
being
I
peak.
mean,
it's
the time
incredible
like the one. Yeah, I think they're going to be better next year, and so it's like one step away. I mean, the first Final Four ever. It's a big deal.
Yeah. They've got
You
the
know-
right guy. They've got the right guy at the helm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the other thing. They're not going to lose Nate to Kentucky, luckily. So
No, I love Coach Oates. You know who's not in their peak in regards to like Alabama?
oh,
Justin Thomas.
Hmm.
You hit the nail right on the
Wow.
head.
don't get me started.
I
Wow.
love it. You started on it. I like with the Masters today. Like
It is Masters Sunday.
It is Masters Sunday, and then I don't know. I look at Justin Thomas. You know why I say that about him? Like I can respect like Roll Tide where Roll Tide's due, but like I saw that video of him and like Jordan Spieth being like, "You lose to us." It's like, did either of you even make the cut? No. So
No,
like I.
they're putting up astronomical numbers too.
Oh
Mhm.
my god,
I know.
Sass, you're firing shots. I love it.
That's good.
This is why we're so glad that you're on here.
Yeah, that was unexpected. Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that is how
You
it
can
is.
tell
That's
like
awesome.
my brother and my dad play golf nonstop because like now I'm very involved in watching professional golf.
It's a good thing to be
you should
involved in.
be.
I'm biased, but
I had a lot of fun watching the Masters today.
I know.
It's-
I did cry with Scotty. I've always have loved Scotty Scheffler, and it's like the one thing that like my dad and my brother and I all go like head to head against because like Williams, like man, my dad like strictly does not like Scotty Scheffler. And my dad's like, oh, I don't like Scotty Scheffler because like he cries when he misses a putt. And I'm like, you cry when like someone leaves the window open. Like I don't know what to tell you.
oh man,
I feel like
I know.
Scheffler's a pretty likable guy.
I love him. He is such a well-rounded guy. And
Yeah,
he
his wife's about to have a kid, and guy got the win.
Got
like,
the
man, what
Masters
else could you
win
ask for?
pretty
win the
easily
Masters.
too.
And then you're
Like-
flying home on a PJ and you're about to become a father for the first time. Like that man is going to explode of just like happiness. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, talk
I
about
can't
peak. This is
He's arguably at his life peak right now.
yeah.
He is
Yeah,
at
it
his
could not get any better than that.
no. I can't like I don't know what else like that man can
Good for
get.
Scotty Scheffler, man. Good for Scotty
Shout out,
Scheffler.
man. Shout out to Jared. He called it. Do we want to
He
keep this
did.
energy
Yeah,
rolling?
I did.
We
I
have
did.
good energy right now. Good flow.
Yeah.
Is it starting 5 time? Is it starting 5 time, guys?
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
it is.
I'm excited for this one. Let me be the first to say. Let me be the
Yeah.
first to say.
I can't believe you guys haven't done this. I feel like I play this game like top 5 or starting 5, however you guys call it, all the time.
Yeah, I mean,
I know
look,
that my 5 are going to be very different. I feel like mine are going to be very, very different from yours. So like,
You'd be surprised.
yeah,
I don't
mean,
know. Today I'm like, I'm a Disney Plus like girl. I
you're
love
all
it.
over it. This is good. Yeah. So Sass picked the starting 5. It's starting 5
Yeah.
Disney Channel original movies, which, like she said, I do think it's a little surprising that we haven't done this. It's a
I
great
do
topic.
too.
It's a great topic. Now, Sass, we usually let the guest kind of decide how we do it. If you want to, you can choose the order. We can choose to do like draft format where we all do one pick at a time and come back around. You can do all 5 at once. It's kind of all up to you.
Okay.
So how do you want us to do this one?
I think we go one at a time.
One at a time. All right.
And
Yeah,
do we
you're
want
gonna
to do
take your
it? Do
whole
we want to
5?
do a draft? Do we want to do a draft style? Lou?
Are we doing snake? We're not doing snake then.
It's up to Sassy, man. She's the
I
guest.
know.
What's the difference between the two? You said draft and what?
Just
No.
all 5 at once.
Oh no.
Or
I
you
want
can go.
one at-
You
One
want
at
to
a
do
time.
snake draft, like a fantasy draft.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So what do you want the order of the selections to be, like the draft selections?
Like who goes first?
Yeah.
Obviously I'm gonna go first.
Okay.
Who do I want to go second? I'll have Luke go second.
Okay.
I don't know who I want to go third. All right, Jared, I'll give you respect. I'll let you go third.
It's almost tougher, but all right. The stage is set. Now, go ahead. Start us off with your point guard here.
All right. Like this is one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's coming up to the time of year where I watch it, and that is High School Musical 2.
Cannot believe it.
Dang it!
She took my look. High School Musical 2, I think, is the best High School Musical. I argue
It's the
this all
best
time.
one. It's
I
the best one.
know that all 3 of you have reenacted "Bet on It" by Troy Bolton.
Thousands of times.
Alright.
Thousands of times.
Yeah.
It's the
Never
it's the
seen
number
it.
one. It's the
Never
number
ever
one
seen it.
music. It's the number one music. Like solo in all of Disney. I think. Bet on it is.
All
Bet on it. Bet on it was the song.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
And
fine.
we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that.
So I'm gonna have to make some audibles here. That's okay. My point guard. This is one deep in the archives. It's a classic that me and my sister used to watch all the time when we were kids. It was one of those random Thursday night Disney Channel original movies that came on. I got Luck of the Irish
Oh
at
my
the point
God.
Look
guard.
at the Irish. Look at the
Great
Irish.
movie.
Wow.
Great movie. It's
So do
basketball
you
backed.
watch it every March like I do for St. Patrick's Day?
No, I should. To be honest, it's been a few years since I've watched Luck of the Irish, but it's it's a great film.
It is.
So I have it at the point guard. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
Favorite.
that's a great pick. That's a great pick. I like that pick. For me, let's see. I had to go over my list because I feel like I'm gonna have a lot of audibles here. At my point guard, I'm glad that I'm able to get this player off the board. You know, they really, really, really star in their time of the year, and there's not really much else I can say. But just give me Halloween Town, man. Halloween Town at the point guard.
You can have it.
It's just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
wow, that's crazy.
Boo.
That's
Boo.
crazy. Oh
It's
I'm a
my
hater
God.
on Halloween Town. I'm a hater
That's
on Halloween
crazy.
Town.
That's crazy. You might as well just tell me that you don't like Hocus Pocus either.
I don't.
I don't. Yeah.
Oh my God, this is
Not receiving
crazy.
good love. Not receiving good
This
love.
I
is
watched
Sorry,
it
Jay.
crazy.
Sorry,
first
Jay.
time this year, and I
Hey,
was like, "This is not."
Hey, Sass,
Not
you wanted
into it,
bad
one bit.
comments. You wanted bad comments and you wanted controversy. Just wait till this gets posted. I know
People don't
our
like-
viewers are really going to resonate with Halloween Town for me.
I would doubt it. Okay, Tommy, what you got me?
Let's find out. Yeah, my point guard. This is the facilitator. I can't go away from this movie because, you know, the bloodline is attached to it. Jim Ball used to roam the hallways at East High, so I've gotta select High School Musical. He's an
The
East High
original.
graduate, the first one. High School Musical, the first one. Just second to none, man. I mean, two is better. And I got to admit that. But, where would we be without the first one? Who knows? Um,
That's an interesting one. I think that's like the worst one out of all
you think
three.
so?
I'd
High
agree.
School Musical 3, it's not a DCOM. It's not a Disney Channel original movie. So I
Yeah.
can't claim it. That one's up there, but it's
I was
not
gonna
one.
say that one was a theaters. That was a
That
theater
one's
one.
so it doesn't count.
Yeah.
But I'm going like old school. Like my mom made William and I watch this movie, so like I feel like I have to give respect where respect's due. Johnny Capahala back on board.
Mm.
Incredible. That's another one that's like summertime. They do the half pipe on, I don't even know what the boards are. It's not a skateboard.
It's like those like all terrain ones.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
I remember
longboard
this.
with
Yeah,
like
yeah.
off-roading wheels.
It's a
Crazy.
good one.
That's a great one. I feel like not doesn't get the hype it deserves.
No, it's a good flick. I remember that one. That had he was the main character was in the show, wasn't he? Wasn't
Mhm.
he? It was I
Favorite.
forget. No, I'm blanking. But anyways, that's a good pick. My shooting guard. We're gonna take someone who was a not a main character in the show that she was in, and she was given the stardom role in this movie, and she killed it. Give me Wendy Wu, Homecoming Warrior, at the shooting guard. Great movie. Great movie.
That's
She's
wild.
she stepped up when she needed to when the spotlight was on her, and you got to respect it. So you got to put her at the shooting guard.
I don't know.
Nah.
All right, Halloween Town.
I
I
mean,
More people are gonna like Halloween.
I'll
Town
give
with-
Brenda her flowers. I'll give Brenda her flowers in that movie.
Is it me now?
It is.
So at my shooting guard, this was one of the most dynamic duos that Disney Channel ever put up. They finally gave him a movie. It was stupendous. Give me the Even Stevens movie. Even
I knew
Stevens
you were gonna
movie.
take that one. You
that's
were definitely an even Stevens kid.
Of
Big Shia
course.
LaBeouf guy.
Oh my
You're a
gosh.
big
Come on,
Shia
yeah.
LaBeouf guy.
Woo! Come on, man. Before all the Transformers movies too.
Yeah,
Let's
I
throw
The
the
doesn't
Babers.
surprise me at all.
let's throw the Transformers movies out of there. That really just
Mm.
went downhill so fast. At least he jumped off the ship before it sank.
I gotta select this movie before it gets nabbed off the board. This is my favorite DCOM Disney Channel original movie. Still watch it probably once a year. It's got some stars in it. Give me Let It Shine, man. Give me Let It Shine. That movie just holds a special place in my heart. Shout out to Coco Jones. She's killing it now. Give me Let It Shine at the 2.
That's an interesting hot take. I'm going Cheetah Girls 2. One of the best soundtracks of all time. Not even like just Disney Channel original movies. The soundtrack is
Just in
impeccable.
general. So you're a big fan of the sequels of these Disney
They
Channel movies.
knew how to do sequels. Now can't.
Yeah.
Back in the
It's good
day,
analysis. It's a good analysis.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it.
I got so my small forward here. This is similar to my point guard pick. It's an old time one, similar realm. But this one's at the small forward because it's a two-way guy. The guy in the movie displays, he's able to do one thing and he's able to do another. Give me Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off at the small forward
Good one.
position.
Good one.
You're looking at a guy who's a
I
killer
like
in the
that one a
baseball
lot.
field and a wizard in the kitchen. You can't, you just,
Wizard in the
it's a
kitchen.
special guy. So give me Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off at the small forward.
That's a good one. So I'm actually surprised that I guess I'm a lot older than you guys though too. So this could play a part. This movie I'm gonna pick at the small forward. Hope no one gets offended by this, but it's a two-way player. And I just think it had a great message. It speaks volumes to today's time, and I have daughters, so I'm gonna have motocross at the small forward. Motocross.
I've never
Wow.
seen it.
Wow.
I have. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Why would that offend anybody? when you said I don't want this to offend anybody. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, like a two-way player because it was a girl posing as a boy.
Oh, okay, man.
Gotcha,
Well,
gotcha,
no, like
gotcha.
so many people love like She's the Man. So
Yeah.
Great
Yeah,
movie
that's what
right
I'm
there.
saying. I didn't want it to come off as like me trying to make a bad joke. I was just saying,
Yeah,
you
yeah. No, I
genuinely
see
love
where
the
you're.
film. I get it.
yeah, it's a good film.
Yeah.
My
Society's
small
$1 million
forward.
cook off, but it's cool.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Flying by cook-off.
unfortunately, my small forward it was ahead of its time. Man, this is an old movie, but the ideas were from the future. And this person's dominating at the small forward. Give me Smart House. Give me Smart
That's a
House.
classic. That's a classic. I feel like that's
Classic.
like one of the
It's a star
blueprints
player.
for the decoms.
Absolutely.
That was gonna be my next one.
Mm.
But,
Let's go.
lucky you. All right, I'll do tried and true Camp Rock because I do like the Jonas Brothers now.
It's a good one.
That's tough. I really had Camp Rock at my power forward because you have to. I'm not a Camp Rock guy. I'm definitely a High School Musical guy, but you have to. The star
Gotta
power
respect
there is
Camp Rock.
this star
Yeah.
power there is tough. Okay. Got to make some audibles here for sure. My power forward. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. My power forward is Springy, real athletic. Another movie where you took someone who was in a supporting role, gave
Yeah. I
them
know
the
what you're
star
going with
role.
here.
Give me Jump In with Corbin
That's a
Blue.
great pick. That's a great
It's a
pick,
good
man.
one, man. And it's another two-way player. The guy was a boxer, but hold on. Red Hot Chili Steppers. Like, what are we talking about? You know what I mean? So
Oh my.
Jump In at the power forward.
Yeah, that's a solid pick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, Push It to the Limit. Also, great song on the soundtrack.
That's
Great song.
high level song. High level song, man.
Yeah.
All right, Jay, what you got, man?
Well, I needed an athlete at the power forward. That's usually where the best athletes are. So this guy, once he really started to mature, his athleticism took off. And so give me the 13th year. Guy got pretty bouncy.
I hated that movie.
Wow.
I'm like, no.
I don't know why I hated it either. I just did not like it.
Yeah, that's fair. Again, he
Yeah.
just didn't see the value in it.
Yeah, I guess I didn't. You're right, and that's fine. I'm not gonna,
My power forward. Maybe this is controversial. I think this is the better movie. I've got Camp Rock 2 here. I'm more of a fan of Camp Rock 2 than the original Camp Rock. Maybe that's the star power that came from Camp Star. I mean, they moved my needle. And I'm sorry, Camp Rock 2.
So you would have
That's
been
the 4.
Camp Star other than Camp Rock.
I mean, Camp Star was just the better performers. We have to be honest. We can't be biased here. If you go back and rewatch those battles, you walk out of there and you say, yeah, they were better.
Okay.
They were better. They had Chris Brown. They literally had Chris Brown out there.
Not literally Chris Brown.
No, but as close as it gets to it in a Disney Channel original movie.
The decom Chris Brown.
He was the decom Chris Brown.
All right, I'll give you that. I do agree with that. All right, so then mine. Gosh, what are we at?
The center.
All right, obviously center, the star, Starstruck, one of the best soundtracks from a decom. Like you can pin it up against High School Musical too.
It's a good one.
I mean, I'm not gonna argue.
Yeah.
I'm really glad I got this at the center. I was a little scared that it might get taken because this is a classic, and this movie gets memed multiple times a year. I see the same clip every single year, and it's hilarious. But I got to put the Twin Towers down low. Give me Double Teamed. Like we're just gonna leave Double Team the Disney Channel original movie about women's basketball. I got the WNBA shirt on right now. Give me Double Teamed.
My God.
Give me Double Teamed at the center.
So this is so calculated. What do you?
The clip of her doing her little shuffle in the fourth quarter, and then she like totally travels and throws a behind the back pass. It's amazing. It's a lovely movie. Great finish to a great story.
Oh my God.
The only thing about that movie is that they were like, oh yeah, these girls, they were in high school. I don't remember their exact age that they were. They were nowhere near that age.
Yeah.
No.
And
I think that's There's a lot of that in Disney.
Expectations, because I was, gosh, first time I saw the movie, I was maybe what, 4? I was like, gosh, I can't wait to go to high school. That is not what high school girls look like. Not at all.
Hey, they performed when they needed to though in the state championship game. So I don't really care what age they were. They got the win.
Sure.
Waters.
Yeah, I don't know what to say to that. That was a wild pick. This pick is gonna be a little bit more off the radar. 1999 was a good year for Disney movies. But it's hard for me to not throw this movie in because I feel like it was so unique compared to all the other Disney movies. So give me a Can of Worms, sci-fi. Thought that was a great.
I don't know if I'm familiar with their game.
Yeah, you have to peep it.
I think I've seen it like once.
Like I said, I'm a lot older than you guys, so like.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Really throwing yourself under the bus here.
I mean, well, that's when Disney will. Never mind. I'm gonna leave that out. That's when Disney would have to think.
Anyways, my center. I don't know how people feel about this movie. I don't remember the reactions it got when it came out. I liked it. Maybe it was just because I was blinded by the shows that it came from. But I've got the Sweet Life movie here. The Sweet Life movie.
That is really interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you guys don't like it, let me know. I thought it was good. I thought it was good.
I definitely liked it. I liked how it was a lot better quality than the show.
Way better quality. Yeah.
That's what I liked about it. For sure.
It was just a lot. It was different too. Like, I mean, the whole clone thing, like, just interesting.
Yeah, no, it definitely gets overpowered by the show, though. So I
absolutely, yeah,
there.
absolutely.
What you're saying there. All right, Sass, walk-on pick here, big time pick right here.
Yes. So I was thinking about like what way I wanted to go. I was like, okay, do I want to like try to take one that I know that you guys might pick? But then I was like, no, I have to credit where credit's due. Read It and Weep is the most underrated DCOM of all time. It was so dramatic. Acting was phenomenal. Storyline phenomenal. Soundtrack incredible. I still think about that movie like maybe once a week. Loved it.
Most underrated DCOM of all time. Read It and Weep. Here you go. You heard it here
Read
first.
It and Weep.
Yeah. And I say, read it and weep.
Yeah, did you weep? You weeped.
I wept. I wept.
Wept. There you go.
Oh, Tom, it's funny you took the Sweet Life movie because my walk-on pick, I put it at the walk-on for the same reason. I felt like this was a movie that was overshadowed by its sitcom predecessor.
I feel like you're gonna be taking my walk-on pick here too.
I know I said in High School Musical 2 they had the best musical piece, but hey now, this is what dreams are made of in the Lizzie McGuire movie. I'm telling you, the Lizzie McGuire movie was on repeat in the Avdo house. Like we loved Lizzie McGuire to begin with, and then the movie was fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
but
funny story.
Think about it.
Okay, go for it.
What 8th graders are being left alone to go run around Rome? 8th grade. That was a middle school graduation. That wasn't high school. That was 8th grade middle school graduation.
You'd be surprised.
It's not realistic.
It is a wonderful. I'll give you that.
Great movie, great story. Like I said, the Lizzie McGuire, like I think the Lizzie McGuire show was an incredible show, and sometimes the movies let down from what the show actually was, and this one didn't skip a beat at all. So you gotta give it the flowers.
Dang, man, dang. This is tough because I literally I can't give a better explanation than that, Luke. That is a great explanation. I feel the same way about this movie, and that's why I put it as my walk-on pick because I truly loved the show, and then the movie really lived up to the show. So give me the Proud Family movie.
Nice. Yeah. Oh no, Jared, no.
Nice.
Damn it. You and me will always be time. Come on, man.
That's a good track. That is a good
track.
Yeah,
man. The acting in that movie, or I mean in that like show in general, just even being a cartoon, it's just awesome.
So good.
Yeah, no, great movie.
All right. Well, since I can't go Proud Family movie here, it's fine. I'll go to another one. Yeah, this is a solid one. I feel like this movie got a lot of hate too. But the bars, man, the bars that were provided in
yeah.
this movie. Timmy Lemonade Mouth. I mean,
Oh,
our guy
absolutely.
got up there. Our guy got up there and he was going crazy
No,
for a
Kinda
Disney
looked like it.
Channel.
oh,
Anyways,
the dude from Zeke and Luther.
Yes.
Oh man, that's a good comparison. I can't wait to
wow.
make a social clip
Wow.
of this one.
Wow.
Oh
There you go.
man. All right, Tom. A question. I didn't know if this one played or not. Is Sky High a decom or no?
I
Yeah,
don't think
it
it
is.
is. Is it?
It
Yeah.
is. Oh man,
Sky
that
High
going
is
undrafted is sick. Cause Sky High's a great movie.
That's a good
that's
one.
a
I thought
really
it.
cool
Is it?
from Succession, isn't he in it? You guys watch Succession?
You're
The
asking the
tall
wrong
guy?
person. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
watch shows. So I don't.
All right.
It's the wrong guy to
Yeah.
ask.
Is
No.
Freaky?
Only
Is
decom,
Freaky?
sorry.
Was Freaky
Yeah.
Friday one?
Yeah,
With
they did
Lindsay
have one.
Lohan?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I
the
feel like
old
They
one,
had,
not the remake. They like remade it and it was horrible. But
well, they have a couple. There was like 3 of them, but
there's
they
like 3
did like
remakes now. Then.
Decom did do one.
okay,
Yeah, they had a good music number too. They had a good music
it's
number
a good
too.
ass movie.
When she went to the garage mid wedding rehearsal, and yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. All right, my bad. Tom, go ahead. Oh no, Jared, go ahead.
Oh, well, we've been talking about a lot of movies, Sass, and Disney has the flicks. I'm not really a High School Musical fan, but with my 50 chips a night, my Masters chances are gonna stay bright.
Here we go.
I've heard better out of you, Jared. I don't know.
I feel like I just set the bar so high because that was a very good one.
No, but I feel like you could have taken an actual line from one of the movies or something, like bet on
I mean,
it, for example. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, I don't mess. I've never seen it, so
I'm gonna play that at the workout tomorrow. Don't worry.
all right. Bet you'll be working out yourself.
Bet on it.
Nothing
you go.
wrong with self rebounding.
Is that where that came from? Is that why people say bet now? Is because
No,
of,
no.
I don't
that
really know
where
where
it
that
originated?
stems from.
I wish that was
Is that where it
the case.
originated?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm sure Troy Bolton fans everywhere wish that's the
Absolutely.
case.
Ben.
Sass, let me ask you this because it sounds like you're very in tune here. Is that Zac Efron's best acting performance of all time?
In High School Musical? No, not
No.
his
Okay,
best.
got it.
His
Okay, I was curious.
best? Gosh.
17 again.
17 again's really good. Have you guys watched Iron Claw? Like the
I was
Brady?
actually
No.
gonna say Iron Claw, but I hated
I
it,
heard.
so I didn't want to.
I heard he was fantastic in it.
No, like he got robbed of like all the awards. Like he should have been nominated because
Yeah,
he's incredible.
he
I
was
would say
unreal.
that's his best of all time. 17 again's up there.
Nah, he was unreal in Iron Claw. That movie was just so sad.
It was awful.
Yeah,
Like,
not for me.
It was gut
Not,
wrenching.
not my vibe. Not my vibe at all.
There you go.
Well,
Okay.
Sassy, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know it's late, but we appreciate you making it happen.
Of course. Thank you
Um,
for having me. This was a good one.
Yeah, if you want to
Super fun.
go ahead and plug your podcast again real quick, just so everybody can tap in and listen to
Oh,
that.
it's called The Beauty Filter. Oh, here we go. William's texting me now. It is called The Beauty Filter. You can follow us on Instagram at Beauty Filter Podcast, on TikTok, or on any streaming service that you get your podcast that you listen to. So, yes, please go give us a follow. Let us know what you think.
Sass, I have one more question before we
Go
jump off. If you had to pick one thing that your med spa provides or one treatment for our audience, basketball players, and what would you say is the number one go-to for young men trying to look young and be vital?
Well, see, like I don't think that men need to, or basketball players. So your metabolism is gonna go quick. So you're gonna process, like you're gonna metabolize like any neuromodulator quick. But like people like have excess sweating, you can Botox that area and it'll suppress the sweat. So like you can get Botox in your underarms and you're not gonna sweat in your underarms. So that's what I would probably say. is like a
Okay.
good place to start. Or like
Yeah.
laser hair removal, like go get your back lasered.
You heard it here
Hey,
first.
for the
Hey,
hairy
yeah,
bag,
Heard it
hairy
here
bag
first.
listeners.
Hey,
Hairy
yeah.
back listeners.
Hey,
Get it
Yeah.
Get an
removed.
appointment with Alexandra Fitzpatrick.
Get it taken care
Oh,
of.
jeez.
yeah, it's worth it. There's no
awesome.
better investment than in yourself.
And
So
boom.
laser hair removal is really
Dang.
an investment.
No
Oh my
better
God.
investment than with yourself. With that being
Yep.
said, these are your favorite walk-ons. We're walking out.